Picture this. I join a squad for last stand, invasion, difficulty, fury. The squad leader spots my tank, the ISU-152, and within seconds there's a message in squad chat. Again with this broke dude on a basic TD. Kicking him, he's gonna throw the whole run. We need proper premiums here, not this Soviet hunk of junk. And the squad leader hits the button. Kick. I'm back in the menu. Just like that. Didn't even get a chance to say hi. But today, I'm going to tell you what happened next. How that same broke dude in a TD, a completely free tank that anyone can get, went on to deal a combined 30,000 damage in Fury mode. While the pay-to-win guys in their flashy premium rides were wiping out by Wave 3, I was holding the whole line, destroying echo tanks one by one, and single-handedly carrying the entire team. Does spending money actually decide everything in hardcore PvE modes? Or can raw skill, the BL-10 cannon, and a real understanding of invasion mechanics put up numbers that the wallet warriors could only dream of? Stick around. Today, we're breaking this down completely. Let's start with the basics. I play free to play. Not because I'm cheap. Not because I don't know how. I play free because I have a principle. World of Tanks is a game of skill, not a game of credit card. I want to win through my mechanics, my tactical awareness, my map knowledge. Not because I threw money at the game and bought a stat advantage through a premium tank with better armor or bonus credit earnings. And that's exactly the lens I look at the ISU-152 through. This machine is legendary. A Soviet Tier 8 tank destroyer that anyone who's ever played this game knows by name. It's not pretty, it's terrifying. No turret, no comfort, no defensive armor. But it has one thing that makes all of that irrelevant. The BL-10 gun with an alpha strike of 1,000 damage on HE shells. 1,000 in a single shot. Now let's think about what that means in Last Stand. Invasion. It's a co-op PvE mode, where your team has to defend the Atlas complex against endless waves of echo tanks. AI-controlled machines. These echo tanks come in waves, and with each wave there are more of them, and they get tougher. On Fury difficulty, the final showdown with them, it's a real test of nerves and skill. In a mode where you need to destroy echo tanks fast and hard before they reach Atlas. An ISU-152 with its 1,000 damage alpha isn't a liability. It's a weapon. One well-placed HE shot and the echo tank is either dead or critically crippled. For comparison, the average Tier 8 premium deals 200, 250, maybe 300 per shot. Sure, they fire more often, but my TD hits so hard that echo tanks simply stop existing. The only problem? In most players' eyes, you're a bottom fragger from the first second, a scrub, dead weight. Because they've got shiny premium tanks with icons bought with real money. And you've got a researchable, meaning free, tank from the tech tree. To them, that's already a death sentence before the match even starts. Let me tell you 3 real stories from Last Stand squads. 3 situations I lived through personally. Each one is its own little masterclass in absurdity. Situation 1. I get a squad invite for Fury. I accept. The squad leader checks the roster and immediately types, "Who's this on the ISU-152? Is this a joke?" I don't respond. 10 seconds pass, and the squad leader kicks me. The whole thing took maybe 20 seconds. They didn't ask my win rate. Didn't ask how many times I'd already cleared this mode. They saw a non-premium tank and the decision was made. Kick. Back to the menu. Situation 2. Another time I made it into a squad and actually stuck around for a bit. The team's assembling, waiting on the last player. And then, one of the guys types in squad chat. "Heads up, we've got an ISU-152. It's a casemate TD with no turret. It can't handle the waves. Where's it even going to aim? Commander, kick him. We won't make it through Fury with this." And you know what's funniest? Not one of those people, not a single one, actually knew the real damage numbers on that tank. They weren't thinking about tactics. They were thinking about the icon, about the fact that the tank didn't look like a premium. The commander hits the button. Kick. Next. Situation 3. This time I was in a squad where they either didn't notice me in time or just didn't bother, and the match launched. But before the first wave, someone types in chat, "TD with no turret can't carry invasion waves." Another chimes in, "Get a real tank." A third drops the classic, "GG already boys, get ready to lose." And all of this before the first wave, before a single echo tank went down. Zero analysis, zero facts. Just pure snobbery from players who paid for a pretty icon in their garage. You know what actually stings in all of this? Not the kicks themselves. You get used to those. What hurts is this. Invasion is a team mode. We're supposed to be defending Atlas from echo waves together. We collectively decide who covers the left flank, who watches the obelisks, who holds the center corridor. It's about teamwork and tactics. But before the match even starts, the squad leader is already making decisions. Not based on skill, not based on tactics, but based on how much money someone spent in the shop. That's not gaming. That's some new breed of elitism. But then one time, it happened. I joined a squad, and the commander either didn't catch my tank or just didn't have time to check the roster, and hit start. Match launched. Fury difficulty. Map. Siegfried Line. Objective: defend Atlas against all echo wave. Don't let them break through. 5 of us. 4 on premium tanks. And me on my trusty ISU-152. Someone managed to type in chat. Great. Where'd this TD come from? But the match was already live. No kicking anyone now. We play. Wave 1. Echo tanks push in from the right flank. Standard early game pattern. Not many, but they're moving toward Atlas on a locked trajectory. My teammates open fire. Rapid, short bursts. 200 damage, 250. Their premiums are clicking and clicking, trying to chip away at the health bars. I find my position. The ISU-152 has no turret. You already know that. Which means I have to pre-angle my hull in the right direction, anticipate the Echo tank's trajectory, hold the moment, and fire. No room for error on repositioning mid-fight. But that's exactly the art of playing a casemate TD. You're always thinking 2 steps ahead. The first Echo tank comes into my line of fire. I aim, it penetrates, and I pull the trigger. The BL-10 lets out its signature boom. The number flashes on screen. 968 damage. Basically 1,000. One shot. The Echo tank loses nearly half its health bar instantly. Dead silence in chat. Just silence. Now here's the key mechanic. Miriam. Every destroyed Echo tank in Last Stand drops Miriam. A special resource that builds up and charges your tank's combat abilities. Think of it like an ultimate ability from any other game. I'd already stacked enough from the first kills, and I activate the rapid reload boost. And the TD, which normally reloads painfully slow, starts firing at an insane rate for what it is. And that's when things get interesting. Second Echo tank. Shot. 740 damage. Third comes in from the side. I'd already anticipated it and rotated my hull early. Shot. 810 damage. Fourth appears in the center. I line it up and hit it broadside where the armor is thinnest. 1,020 damage. Echo tank drops before it even gets into range of Atlas. In those few seconds, I put out 4 shots. Combined damage, over 3,000. And then, an obelisk. This is genuinely the most critical mechanic in Invasion, and it needs its own breakdown. An obelisk is a paired structure that spawns on the map, mid-wave, and immediately creates a phase link with 3 Echo tanks simultaneously. Those 3 tanks now share a health pool with the obelisk. You shoot at a tank, and a big chunk of that damage goes to the obelisk instead. You can't properly kill any of those 3 as long as the obelisk is alive. For a player in a premium tank with average alpha, this means a lot of shots. Time bleeds away. Echo tanks keep pushing toward Atlas. Holding the line gets harder and harder. For me, 2 shots, 3 at most. I spot the obelisk. It's hovering over the position, pulsing. I rotate my hull. I aim at the weak point and fire. 940 damage to the obelisk. 1 more shot and the obelisk crumbles. The phase link breaks, the 3 Echo tanks lose their protection and become vulnerable. My teammates clean them up, and wave 1 is done. The damage counter at the end of the wave shows my name at the top. 5,200 damage. Best result on the team. On a free ISU-152. Someone in chat finally typed, "What? How? TD actually did that?" But Invasion on Fury isn't one wave. It's a marathon. And with every subsequent wave, Echo tanks get faster, more aggressive, their AI starts acting more coordinated. They hit multiple map sectors at once. Obelisks spawn more frequently and in more awkward positions. And if the team doesn't coordinate, the line falls. Wave 2. Echo tanks push from 2 directions at once. My teammates spread out, and here I see the problem. 3 of them head to the right flank where the threat is smaller, and nobody's covering the left corridor into Atlas. I push over. The ISU-152 is slow, but the route's shorter since I was already holding a central position. I stop on the line, catch 2 Echo tanks pushing through the corridor back to back. First one, HE to the front, 890 damage. Second, tries to go around. I rotate, pop the ability for accelerated reload again, and get the shot off before it reaches Atlas attack range. 760 damage. Corridor locked. Wave 3. Obelisks spawn almost simultaneously in 2 spots. One teammate tries to take out the first, burns 6 shots on it because his alpha's too low. I roll to the second. 2 shots, obelisk gone, link broken. Switch over to help with the first, finish it off in 2 more. Team handles the wave. By the end of wave 4, my damage counter was showing a number I honestly didn't expect to see this soon. 22,000 damage. And in chat, the same player who'd typed GG already at the start was now silently staring at the scoreboard. And then the final wave arrived, and with it, the Taschenratte. This is Invasion's boss Echo tank, and it's fundamentally different from regular Echo machines. The Taschenratte is the only enemy in the mode that can directly deal damage to the Atlas complex itself. Every other Echo tank only attacks players, but if this one breaks through to Atlas, the game is over. Defeat. The Taschenratte has a massive health pool and pushes forward with purpose. It's built for breakthrough. The rest of the wave, regular Echo tanks, is the distraction. You have to stop them and concentrate enough firepower on the boss at the same time. My teammates absorbed the main body of the wave. I found the one position with a direct line of fire on the corridor the Taschenratte was moving through. No obelisks in the way. No obstructions. Just it. And me. First shot. 1,010 damage. It keeps moving. Second shot, and here, I activate the last Miriam I'd stacked over the entire match and hit the cooldown boost. Reload cuts down hard. Third shot lands before the Taschenratte clears the next sector. 950 damage. Fourth, and the boss. Echo tank slows. Fifth shot finishes it off. Atlas survived. Wave eliminated. Mode cleared on Fury. The final results screen pops up. First line at the top, my name. Total damage, 30,400. on a free ISU-152. Second player on the board, one of the guys who'd been running an expensive premium. And that same chat where "Get a Real Tank" had been posted at the start gave exactly one message after the final screen. Okay, you're built different, nothing else. Just silence and those 3 words. Let's talk honestly about what actually happened here. Not from the perspective of one match, but from the perspective of what it actually means. Those players spent real money on premium tanks. Their tanks have nicer models, better credit income per game, and, yes, certain tactical advantages in specific situations. But they came into last stand. Invasion on Fury difficulty. And they couldn't hold it. They didn't quite match my numbers. They genuinely might have thrown this run if I hadn't locked down the left flank, destroyed obelisks efficiently, and stopped the Taschenratte. They bought an advantage. But the advantage in Invasion's PvE mode isn't the alpha strike on a premium gun. It's understanding how obelisks and phase links actually work. It's knowing when to pop your Miriam and which ability to pick. It's positional thinking, where to position yourself to cut off the approach to Atlas. It's reading the wave before it even starts. All of that lives in your head. You can't buy it. And here's the real irony of the whole situation. The ISU-152, a turretless tank, an obvious liability in the eyes of the squad elitists, turned out to be perfectly built for Invasion's mechanics. The massive alpha strike lets you delete echo tanks fast. The high HE penetration lets you destroy obelisks with a minimum number of shots. And a smart firing position completely compensates for the lack of a turret. In Invasion, echo tanks move on predictable routes, and if you know them, you don't need to swing a turret around. This mode doesn't test how much you spent. It tests whether you understand what's happening around you. Last stand. Invasion is one of the most interesting modes wargaming has ever launched. There are real mechanics here, real tactics, a real challenge, especially on Fury. Obelisks with phase links, Miriam and ability choices, echo tank behavior that gets progressively harder each wave, and the Taschenratte as the final boss who can wipe out Atlas if you're not paying attention. None of it is about how much you paid. It's about whether you're actually thinking in battle. I get why premium tanks are popular. I'm not saying spending money is wrong, or that people who buy premium tanks are automatically bad players. Not at all. But this game, and this mode specifically, proves that mechanical understanding and positional thinking are worth way more than a flashy tank icon in your garage. If you're playing free-to-play, keep going. Learn the Invasion mechanics deeper. Figure out the obelisks, plan which Miriam ability suits your tank and the situation. Learn the echo tank routes on Siegfried Line. And when you get kicked out of a squad next time for running a wrong tank, find another squad or queue through auto matchmaking. The results will speak for themselves. 30,000 damage on a free TD spoke for me. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever been kicked from a squad or a mode just because you play free-to-play or showed up in the wrong tank? How did you handle it? How did you shut those wallet warriors up? Drop your story in the comments. I genuinely want to know. If this video was useful or entertaining, drop a like. It really helps the channel grow. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. See you in the next video.